In the past year, the world has seen historic changes in economics and politics. In many countries, people have been calling for dramatic and democratic changes. Part of those changes are also women's rights. The organization Vital Voices Global Leadership each year awards the power and impact of women's leadership in the world. This year, the awards were given to 9 women whose leadership holds the promise of a better world. The honorees are from Liberia, Mexico, Samoa, Pakistan, and 5 from the Arab Spring: Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Libya, Egypt, and Tunisia. Samar Minallah uses documentary filmmaking as a tool for the social change in Pakistan. She was fighting to abolish traditionally harmful practices and, as a result, received numerous death threats.
It happens quite frequently because, like in Swara, at times what happens is that if a father commits a murder, he would like to give his little girl as compensation to the enemy's family, and he would get away with the crime, but it would be the little girl that would have to pay the price of her father's crime for the rest of her life.
The work that Minallah does is dangerous, but she says she successfully works with the law enforcement agencies.
That is exactly why I prefer working in the field of media, because that's where you can actually challenge mindsets in a country where there's a very low literacy rate, and a film or a documentary that is made in a regional language can actually educate people and help in changing their mindsets. There's always this misinterpretation of Islam which is actually being used against women. So these are the kinds of challenges that women face in Pakistan.
Years of civil war have left a lot of destruction in Liberia. Rosanna Shack is the executive director of Touching Humanity in Need of Kindness from Monrovia. It was established in 2003 to help girls who were child soldiers or used as wives of male fighters.
After 2008, we have opened it up to what we call war affected. And these are girls who are either survivors of sexual violence, domestic violence, trafficking.
The girls' ages from 14 to 24. From 2003, 261 girls have gone through the rehab home, many of which had never sat in a classroom before. The 9-month program offers vocational skills training in pastry and catering, cosmetology, and sewing. There is also a safe house for victims of sexual and domestic violence, along with a medical clinic for rape victims.
Between 2003 up to 2006 and 2007, people were still angry at losing everything they had ever worked for, having family members killed in front of their eyes, all of those things. So we had to work a lot with our community on trauma, on forgiveness, on all of this, and ask the community to help us help these girls.
The Arab Spring Revolution has brought different changes for women. After the revolution in Egypt, the situation has changed for the worse. A lot of laws in favor of women were discussed to be abolished, like the divorce law, the female genital mutilation law, as well as decreasing the marriage age for girls to 12. Marian Ibrahim is the executive manager of the Center for Development and Dialogue in Egypt. As a Copt, she faces discrimination and was beaten during an October demonstration.
We are facing the truth about the reality of women's status in the country, politically, socially, and although it doesn't look that good at the moment, there's a lot of fighting to do, and we are willing to fight.
Ibrahim says there is still a lot of work to be done on education, culture, and enlightenment.
Women's gender is still being used against them as some sort of punishment, which I think it's part of the mentality.
The role of women was significant and crucial for successor revolution in Libya. After the revolution, more than 70% of all non-governmental organizations all over Libya is led by women. Salva Bugaigis is a lawyer from Benghazi, where the first woman was ever elected in a city council. She's also a member of Libyan Women Platform for Peace.
In the revolution, she didn't ask her father or her husband or her brother to go she decided and she went to the street and she was involved in the demonstration. We need to see women in political role. We have tribal mentality, we have cultural mentality, and we have psychological.
Bugaigis was a representative in the coalition government, National Transitional Council, but she quit after 3 months.
They can't accept that the woman can't speak in politicals. For me, I didn't like to stay for decoration or as a vase in the NTC, so I rather to go out and to quit and to try to do something more useful than just sitting on the chair and watching them.
For 11 years, Vital Voices Awards have provoked action to defend shared values and basic human rights around the world. Honored women are those who have had serious impact, not only on their own lives and families, but on their communities and countries. Amra Alirejsovic, VOA News, Washington.